Good afternoon, everybody. It's Gina DiGirolamo with the Heart of Paso. So welcome to my interview show where I'm interviewing guests from different organizations, different businesses all around Paso Robles and the Central Coast area. Started the show a couple months ago, barely, since COVID-19 started, so we could all connect to each other and know what each other are doing and support each other's businesses, endeavors, organizations, things like that. First off, Monday, June 1st, here we are. And what a weekend we've had everywhere. So I know that there are a lot of things happening in the world, in this country, and we can address them in many different ways. Today, I would like to bring to light the Paso Robles City Library. And personally, I have not honestly spent a lot of time in libraries myself. I did start some volunteer work at our local library about a year ago or so. I was able to do some of that. And then I had other work I was doing, so I couldn't get in there. But I've been fortunate enough to really have a wonderful conversation with two ladies I'm going to have with me today, two of our librarians. We have our adult services librarian, Karen Christiansen, and I've got Melissa Bailey, who is our youth services librarian. And one thing I'd like to say about everything that's going on, whether it be COVID, whether it be our the loss of George Floyd, the protests that have come in light of that. There's a lot of information out in the world. We have Google at our fingertips, but doesn't necessarily mean we're always getting the correct information. And I think we have to be extremely discerning. And I think it's great that we have libraries in this country where we can go in and do our research. And I think you're going to find out today that our Paso Robles City Library isn't just your grandma's library with the librarian telling you to be quiet. So with that, I'm going to bring in my guests right now. I'm going to bring in Karen and I'm going to bring in Melissa. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi.
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad you're here. I know that you guys have so much to offer us. And so let's just start with where we are today. First off, and I'm going to allow Karen, because you are our adult service librarian, just tell us a little bit about what happened today. You guys are taking a step forward. The library's been officially closed physically. Yeah. And thank God we're going to talk about the e-library because that is amazing. But tell me about the curbside service that started today.
Yeah, so we're really excited. Our curbside service, as you said, started today. And from the user's perspective, the way that works is you place holds on items that are owned by our library. So we're not doing our full black gold cooperative system delivery service quite yet, but we are offering materials that are owned by our library. And so you go in, you place those on hold just like you would have back when we did the all black gold version of that. There are some really good instructions that show you step by step exactly what to do when you get to the library's website. And I should add that this is currently not working on our app. So if you're used to using the app, you need to use our library website instead, so as your access point. But once you get there, you place your holds, and then you'll be notified when those holds are available. So there were some people that had holds already on our hold shelf when we closed, and those are still sitting there waiting for you to come pick up. So those, if you had things on hold, you can come on by and pick them up curbside. But if you're placing new holds, you need to wait to get notified that they're available. We're running our holds report about once a day. If it seems really heavy, we might do it more than once a day. But in any event, as soon as the things are ready, you'll get notified. And then what you do is you come to the library, you park in one of the designated parking spaces in our library parking lot. And right in front of you, there's going to be instructions about how to notify the library that you're here. And then you need to bring your library card and your cell phone.
Okay.
And then you'll notify the library staff that you're here. They'll find your items on the hold shelf. They'll check them out to you and they'll bring them right out to your car. So you don't ever have to leave your vehicle. If
Okay.
for some reason you don't have a vehicle, we have a like walk-up pickup point. And if you don't have a cell phone, we do have a pickup by appointment option, so you can call the library ahead of time. We give you a 5-minute window, so please, adhere to that 5 minutes. And our staff will be waiting in our lobby behind the door, and then when you arrive, they'll walk outside and put the bag on a bench, and then you can take your items home. So we've kind of thought about all the different options for people, and we've been doing it today, and it's been working, and it's very exciting that we're able to finally offer some actual print and audiovisual materials for people that are not on your computer. So that's been really great.
Okay. And so how are you able to sanitize books and things without damaging the book?
Yeah, okay, so on the check-in end of things, you can return items to our book drops, and we have book drops out in the parking lot, and we also have a book drop near the 11th Street entrance that goes right into the building. And you can put any items in any of those book drops. So we used to have a no audiovisual in the parking lot rule, but we've abandoned that, and we're fine with anybody putting any items that you had checked out. They go in there, and then periodically throughout the day we empty that book drop and we bring the items in, and they sit for 3 days, because we've been told that 3 days is how long the germ can last on library materials. So they'll sit for 3 days, and then after the 3 days is when we actually check them in. And so there is a little bit of a lag time there, but just to be safe, that's the approach that we're taking.
That makes sense.
So at the time that they're checked in, if something is on hold, the hold will get triggered automatically. If it's not checked in, we'll shelve it, but then it'll be available for people to reserve. So yeah, so that's kind of the behind the scenes part of it.
So it's really a simple method, and just kind of let it sit and take its course without having to worry about alcohol and things like that on the books or the
actually those were not a good option for us. Those wipe things, they just weren't good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Well, that's really good. I'm going to bring Melissa in because I want to ask Melissa a little bit. I think this is going to be the most interest to most of the parents, at least out there. What do we have going on for the kids? It's June 1st. Summer is now underway. A lot of the school programs have ended or are ending. So what have you got for the kids and the families this summer if we can't come into the library? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so summer reading is so much fun. We do it every year. This year it's going to look a little bit different because, as you said, we're not able to go into the library. And so we're not able to have the traditional program that we've had in the past. But this year will be all online. We're still going to have the programs for very young read to me, the children's age, the teen age, and the adults are all going to have their own program. This year, to make it simple, everybody is asked to read 10 hours. So it's the same across the board. Each different category is going to have different activities that we encourage you to do. And by completing those activities, you're going to earn tickets that you can enter into drawings. And so usually we have one grand prize drawing for each age group at the end of the summer. But this summer, we're going to do a grand prize drawing each month for each age group. So we're very excited about that. And we hope that keeps people reading and participating. We're doing a lot of programming on Facebook with Facebook Live and with our library website. And so we're going to continue that, and we're going to increase the amount of programming available during the summer, because we know, like you said, school is ending officially this Thursday. Although I know most of us have turned in our Chromebooks by now, so we're maybe not as engaged this week as we were before. But our summer reading program will start on Monday the 8th, and it will run until the very last Friday in August. So the kids will actually be back in school when we're done. But we wanted to run it through August to make sure that no matter how school looks next year, kids will have something to do, and parents too, and teens. We want to make sure everybody is engaged and having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've heard from a lot of parents. They just need to like tell me what to do, what activities, things like that. I'm going to bring Karen back in, so I'm going to bring all of us in because I want to start to share the website for the library to show people some of the part of the library that I was super impressed with when we talked last week. So let me bring that up right now. So, and look, there's Melissa right there.
Yep.
There I am.
You're right there.
She's right there. So we are on the library services page. Just for those of you know, this is part of Paso Robles City website. And this is the library portion of it. So, and this was one of the things you were talking about, Melissa, was the virtual storytelling time. And that's daily. Is that correct?
Well, we have something in the children's department. We have something going every day. So Mondays, we've got family movie reviews. Tuesday, we've got Try It Tuesday, which is a 5-minute craft. Wednesday is live story time at 2:00 on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday and Friday, we have 2 pre-recorded story times. Thursday is Mother Goose for the very young ones. And Friday is Cuentos with Miss Christina. It's our bilingual story time. And both of those are one episode, one program, but they're available to view all day. So, so everything we've got on Facebook for kids, the story times are only available right then. So our 2:00 Wednesday is only available at 2:00. You have to tune in and watch it right then. But Thursday and Friday, those are on our website, and those are available for 24 hours.
Okay, right. And that was, we talked about, that has to do with copyright issues and things like that. And that's why they aren't downloadable or always there. Just like you would come into the library and have something read to you. It's only for that moment in time.
Yeah.
Great. So what about adults, Karen? What do we got for adults? And do you want me to go to a certain page here? Would it be a
no, that's okay. I can just talk about, we don't have quite as robust an offering for the adults as we do for our children right now. But we do have our weekly book reviews from Catherine, which on this slideshow that's been going, you probably have seen that. We also have a weekly movie review with Joe on Fridays. So Catherine's on Tuesday, Joe's on Friday. And then I've also been able to have our book group, which has been in existence for, close to 25 years. I've been able to have that move to an online platform. So we use Zoom for our monthly book group. And another one of the things that I saw in that carousel that was going through was the book Wild Game. That right there, that's our next book that we're going to be reading. We do require pre-registration for that. And you do that through where it says classes and events on that black bar there. You can see right that. There. Yeah. And so, don't click on either of those. You would just click on where it says classes and events. So that takes us to the calendar, find the thing that you want, and then you just sign up for it. So yeah. And right now the book group, I think, is the only thing that you need to sign up for. Right. That's how Zoom's been a little bit controversial as far as hackers getting in there and doing their hacking. And so to prevent that, I only send the link to the people that have registered for the program. So I can at least control who's in there. It's not wide open to the public. Sure. So, but for summer, I think you wanted me to talk a little bit about what we're doing in August in particular. So for summer, one other thing that we're going to be doing is bringing back our monthly crafts. And I'm still kind of working out how I want to do that. I realize it starts on Monday, so I got to figure it out soon. But I think we're going to have some kind of kits that you pick up. You work on those at home, and then we have a meeting where we kind of iron out the kinks. So if you're having a problem and you're stalled, that's great. And if you were able to finish, then you can do sort of a show and tell, look what I made. So I think that's how we're going to approach crafts this year.
And is that
for
real
summer.
quick? Is that real quick? Is that on that Facebook page, what I was seeing for today and tomorrow? Or is that something different?
Craft.
That's my kids' craft.
That's your kids' craft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So we
that's a
have
different one.
things for kids and we have things for adults.
Yeah.
I have not posted any of my things yet because,
Okay.
as I said, I'm still kind of ironing out the final details a little bit.
Right.
But sometime in June, we'll be bringing that back. So, yeah. So
Okay.
something to look forward to. But I did want to talk specifically about our Book to Action grant that we had received. We were supposed to be kind of doing a City Reads program based on the book Evicted, which is a Pulitzer Prize winning book about housing insecurity.
Mhm.
And I had developed a lot of different classes and events based on that book and its themes. And it was supposed to be happening in May. And we were closed in May, so it didn't happen. Fortunately, they extended the grant. So those programs I have now moved to an online format, and they will be taking place in August. And so I think that's just such an important topic for people to learn about. There will be a presentation by the Slow Legal Foundation. They'll be doing a presentation about renters' rights. So if you are a renter or if you are someone who is experiencing housing insecurity, that would definitely be a good thing for you to attend. Or even if you're a landlord, it's helpful to know what renters' rights are if you're a landlord too.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing I'm bringing in. We will be doing the book discussion about the book Evicted. And we do have free copies of that book. And so in July, we'll be handing out those books in preparation for the August book group meeting.
And is that book available also as an ebook?
I believe so. Yes. It's available in audiobook format. I mean, as I said, it was a Pulitzer Prize winning book, so it's available pretty much any way that you can make something available. None of this is on our website yet because it's not till August.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go too far off of that subject, but I do want to just point out the e-library for ebooks and things like that.
For sure.
We'll go here and we will talk about this section a little bit more in a moment.
No, that's fine.
But I just wanted to point that out real quick before I forget. And I kind of want to segue a second on what you're talking about. Well, first, I would like to just point out how important that subject is, obviously. I think as we've all learned, that the beginning of COVID-19 and people being laid off and things like that, we really are seeing where the cracks are in things, and housing being so important, right? And how close people are to that. And between choosing to feed your family or housing, we've got these two big things to choose from, right? And it's great that the library is offering this educational subject. Now, that makes me want to bring in Melissa, what she was telling me about last week, Melissa, about feeding the kids through the summer. There's a food program as well that you guys are working on, because the school lunches are obviously school's over and now that's phasing out. Can you tell us about that program a little bit?
Sure. Well, actually, the school district phases from regular school lunches into a school lunch program over the summer. So they are still, our food services director is still lunches for kids at I think 3 sites. He's meeting with me tomorrow to confirm everything. But we're going to partner with them, with the district, to provide some enrichment opportunities. So we recognize that not everyone is going to be able to participate at the same level with our summer reading program being completely online and with our building being closed, at least for right now. And so we want to make sure that we're reaching out to as many kids as we can and as many families as we can, and providing them with enrichment and engagement opportunities. And so we're hoping to be at least one school site a week that's hosting these lunches. And provide kind of a grab and go kit, a take and go kit to go with the lunches, that will have some kind of craft or manipulative for kids to do, and an enrichment packet that they can kind of play with and work on. It's not meant to be school, it's not going to be boring. We want it to be fun, and we want it to be something that will kind of prevent that summer slide, which we always are working with summer reading program, is to prevent that loss of knowledge. And we're expecting that to be kind of a big one this year, since we moved to distance learning. We're anticipating that summer slide will have started already. And so we're really going to try and work this summer to make sure that even those kids that can't do summer reading for some reason can at least participate and have something to do. That's
great. So it's really great that the library, it has so much available for everybody, every age, every education level, every economic situation, all of it. And I liked what you were telling me too last week about the new library being more about experiences. Karen, do you want to address that a little more?
So, the traditional library was the librarian walking around telling everyone to be quiet and, shh, and, you got hired based on how well you could do that. And, and today's library isn't really like that. Today, we really emphasize different experiences, and we of course have our collections. That's still a big part of what we do. So we have books and DVDs and music CDs and large print items. Just, for all ages, we have these collections. But we also have our e-library collections, which also have ebooks and audiobooks and magazines and DVD, or not DVDs, but films and comic books and all kinds of formats. But we have really wanted to stress these experiences. And so the classes and events that we offer, we're really getting to be our bread and butter, our thing. And it's just so unfortunate that we've been closed and we haven't been able to offer those things in quite the same way. And, and we're even moving our summer reading program online. But I'm very excited about using this new technology and being able to offer things for people, even when we're closed to the public. So that's been a great thing.
Yeah. I want to point out, so I was starting to go to the page for a minute, because I was going to point out some of I really love the magazines that we talked about. So let's pull that up again real quick here.
Sure. So the name of our magazine database is RB Digital, and it's under that magazines, newspapers, and reference books. You just, there
it is.
Right there, RB Digital, and you just click on that link. You need to set up a little account using your library card number. I don't know if you've already done that, Gina.
Yeah, I did already.
Yeah, great. Welcome, Gina. There you are. And then we subscribe to over 100 different titles of magazines. So lots of popular things, cooking magazines, DIY magazines, a lot of different hobby type magazines, sports magazines, news magazines, those women's magazines that Good Housekeeping types of things.
Right.
But we also, and I'm really glad you brought up The Economist, we subscribe to The Economist on here, and you can read this for free, which is pretty awesome. If you are a fan of The Economist and you try to subscribe to that, it's hundreds of dollars a year to subscribe to. So we were very excited that we were able to offer that for free for people.
Yeah. And also, I'm sorry, I'm popping around here. I was trying to come back to, let me pull this out for a second. also like the New York Times, and
Mhm.
was the Wall Street Journal part of that or not necessarily?
No, the New
Okay.
York Times was provided through a grant from the state. So our state librarian was a journalist with the San Francisco Chronicle for many, many years, fabulous journalist, and now he's our state librarian.
Wow.
And he made it possible for all of the public libraries in California to get a subscription to the New York Times.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so online. And so we have that, and it's pretty great. I mean, I
And
subscribe
it's an
to,
expensive subscription, the New York Times.
oh,
If
for
you were
sure,
to
especially
subscribe.
out here on this end of the
Yeah.
coast, because we're so far away. But yeah, so you can just read that. Here's an example of what RB Digital's magazines look like. They
Right. So
just
this is
look like,
cool.
yeah, it's just like reading the magazine. And
Yeah, and you could scroll in and make it bigger and all of that. And this is The Economist that we're looking at. We were just
mhm,
saying what a great, as far as some magazines that are expensive. And that's kind of what I wanted to highlight a little bit. And it doesn't have to be The Economist. I'm just
mhm.
showing that as an
Yeah,
example. But what I wanted to share was what we started this conversation out with about the library being a great source of information. I know personally for me, with all that we have to look at right now, with all the things that are happening in our country and in the world, we're bombarded with snippets of information.
mhm,
But we personally, and I'm struggling with this myself on how do I know, what am I going to choose? But if I've got to get deeper instead of skating on this surface. And I think that's one of the things libraries have always been so great, because you go in there and you just really sit down and you just kind of focus in one thing in one area, and you could take your time, right? You had
right.
said a quote earlier, which I thought was great. Could you just repeat it, Karen?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't remember it exactly word for word, but it was from Neil Gaiman. He's an author, and he said that, Google can provide you with thousands of answers, but a librarian can provide you with the right answer.
Yeah.
And one of the services that we still offer is phone reference. So if anyone
Mm.
is looking for information, or you just want help finding your next great book to read, please call the library between 10 and 5, Monday through Saturday, and
What's
we're
the number?
happy. It's 805
Uh-huh.
237 3870. And you can just call that number, and the staff is here to help you. So we can help you weed through some of the stuff that you've come across on Google or the news or whatever. And we can also help refer you to, like the next great novel that you want to read. So our staff is trained to help you do that. That's what we do. So yeah,
Right,
I
right.
appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's true. I mean, it's about your quest. We all have to. It's about the questions we ask, right, to get to the correct answers that we would like. So I just want to look at my notes, because we had extensive notes on what you guys had to offer last week, and it was so good to find out all of this. And even movies. I mean, so
Mhm.
the movies online.
Yeah, so through our e-library, one of the platforms that we offer is called Hoopla, and Hoopla has some movie offerings as well. And so if you listen to Joe's movie reviews or Melissa's movie reviews, you can find something for all ages on Hoopla to watch.
Get back to the website.
Yeah, so it's
To
the
show
e-library,
that, right.
and it's under the ebooks, audiobooks, and more, something like that is the category. And yeah, and it's Hoopla. It's really easy to sign up. Once again, it works very much like RB Digital does, in that you check out the item and then you just listen to it or view it or read it right there on your screen. If it's an ebook, it looks very much like a book. So if you see where it says ebooks, audiobooks, yeah, so click on Hoopla.
Hoopla's right there.
Yep, there it is.
Hoopla.
Yeah, and the great thing about Hoopla, unlike some other platforms, is that everything on Hoopla is available to everyone all the time. So it's not like when you come in the library and the book that you want is checked out, so you have to wait for it.
Right.
Everything on Hoopla is available all the time.
Yeah, here you go. Here's an option
Yeah.
to Netflix.
Yeah, it's not as extensive as Netflix or
Yeah,
one
but
of those, but it's free. And
right.
there are some really great shows on there. They have some television shows, but they do have feature films, documentaries.
That's great. And you got
Yeah,
the comic books are through here
comic
too.
books are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, as I said, like with RB Digital, once you open one of those things up, if you open up an audiobook and you click play, it just starts playing.
Yeah.
And so I love listening to that on my phone. I like watching the movies on my computer. It's simple to use.
Yeah. Really
Yeah.
great. That's cool. I'm going to also swing us over to the Facebook page too, because I wanted
Oh
to
gosh,
show for Melissa. You've got, let me see here.
we're having a bit of a power outage here, so if I go away,
Ah,
I'm sorry.
okay.
It's
So
getting
far-
darker and
It
darker.
just got darker. I don't know.
Yeah.
So far, you're still there.
Yeah.
So we'll just show everyone quick the Facebook page again, and because we're coming up on our 30-minute time, but let's share at least a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So the stuff that's going on, today's library special, movie Monday with Melissa. What's that, Melissa?
Yay.
I always wanted to have my name in lights.
There you go. You're on the marquee. So is movie Monday? Which one is that now? Is that
So that's the family movie review. So we usually
Okay.
do a couple of movies, and I kind of give you the inside scoop on what's going on with each one, because I know with my kids, it's always exciting to get surprised by a weird scene or some bad language that you didn't think was going to pop up.
right?
So we go through and talk about what's in each one and what you should look out for, and
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
hopefully give people a little inspiration for this week, what they can do to have some family fun time.
Great. And then we've got the adults, the digital book and film recommendations there.
Right. And those are for the age 18 and up crowd. So those are not for the kids. If you do go in there, you're probably guaranteed some of those surprises that Melissa was talking about.
Yeah.
But Catherine, who's depicted on the left there, she does our book reviews. She talks about 3 to 5 books a week, all around a different theme. So maybe cooking will be one week and historical fiction will be another week. It's just kind of what strikes her fancy. And then Joe, who's on the right there, he talks about movies for grown-ups.
All right.
That are available on Hoopla. Yeah.
Great. So you had something, there was something I wanted to point out at the top. Here we go. This is so sweet. Try It Tuesday, I guess, is some of your craft stuff.
That is our 5-minute craft. That was last week's, our very first one. And we had really good response from that. So I'm excited this week. Tomorrow.
You got something up here,
we're doing origami.
Yeah, I see you've got, is this it here?
Yeah, right there at the bottom. Ooh, origami.
All right.
Yes.
So all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
You guys are full of goodies.
Try and come up with things that people probably have around the house. We don't want to throw anything out there that make people feel like they've got to go out and buy supplies or, have anything special. We're looking for things that we can do at home with stuff we've got lying around.
Right, with what you got. Well, that's got to be great. So yes, parents, come to the Paso Robles City Library Facebook page because they have stuff for you. I know I've heard so many parents say, I don't know what to do next. I've done everything I can think of.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that you all are here to offer, especially for the kids. It's really great. Is there something else today that you would like to bring up? I know we've had more things, and maybe we'll go do this again on some when we get into some of the other programs. But is there anything else today that you would like to share?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything that we had talked about earlier last week. Yeah, I really appreciate you considering us for this and putting us on your show. It's been really great.
Yeah, it's been great for me too. Great to learn, and I'm excited too because I did download the RB Digital to my phone just a little while ago. So if you have you don't have to have, if you don't, oh, that was the one thing. You don't have to have a physical card right now. You could go and do it online, correct?
Yes, yeah. And if you want to bring your screen back up, I can show people
Yep.
where that is.
Yeah, let me find the right one. Get us to the library page again.
Yeah, so if you don't have a card, or if you've lost your card, or if you haven't used your card in a long time and it's no good anymore, because we do delete people that aren't active.
Right.
Yeah, we have a way that you can get an online card.
Okay.
And so you go to that library page again. There is a choice there using the library. If you hover over that, one of the choices is getting a library card. So you click on that and then scroll down, down, and see where it says e-library access only, apply online. You click on the apply online.
Like that.
And that takes you to a very simple application. You just fill that out, and then it gives you a card instantly that you can use for all of the e-library items. So it's all of the online items only.
Which is still a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. Yeah. I've been going through like so many audiobooks, working from home and doing a lot of database cleanup type projects. And so listening to audiobooks while I do that. Yeah. And I've been using all library materials, and it's been great. So
yeah. So don't forget, you don't have to go out there and spend money. First go to the library first, right? It's the first place you should go look for a book. And then, and if you don't have it, then go to your next source, or maybe it's a book you want to buy and then donate to the library. Are you able to take donations right now, or not necessarily? I know a lot of organizations are not.
Yeah, we don't have enough staff in the building to facilitate that. Plus our Friends of the Library store is closed. And that's where we sell a lot of the donations to raise money to buy new things for the library. So we're still not in the donation taking mode yet. But I've just been telling people, just hang on to those things, box them up, and eventually we'll be
put them in the corner of the garage.
Let's see. We do have a question here. Can you use your e-card in the physical library when you do open back up?
You cannot use your e-card in the physical library, but what happens with the e-card is it magically transforms into a physical card when you bring in your proof of address. So we need to see like a driver's license or something like that. And then we can get you a real library card, which it can be used for both. So it can be used for e-library materials and physical materials as well.
Okay, great. And then we've got a nice little comment. Library. Have loved libraries since I was a child. Some of my best friends are books. I love that. Thanks, Lydia. Lydia is part of the Paso Robles co-op, food co-op program. So,
well, we love the co-op too. So
good. Oh, and there was one other thing I did want to make sure we mentioned, which was how else can we help the library? You had mentioned there's a couple. So mostly the library is funded by the city, the general fund, but there are other ways you can help.
Yeah, so we have two groups who help raise money for the library. Our Friends of the Library, which most people are familiar with because they have that store in the lobby, and so they've wandered through the store. But we also have the Paso Robles Library Foundation, and both of those agencies are nonprofits who help the library to purchase materials and books, to conduct classes and events. The Friends of the Library take care of all of our classes and events from September through May. And then our Library Foundation pays money to put on our summer reading program, which is our big event of the year. Both of those groups would be happy to accept your donations of cash right now, but also of materials once we're able to take those as well. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
very grateful to those groups for sure.
Sure. And I put that in the comments as the Paso Robles Library Foundation that should be able to take some funds from us. So,
Yeah.
well, ladies, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for all you're doing to keep us well educated, well informed, well entertained, helping the parents, all of those things that you're doing. It's a great service, and I definitely will be using the library more in the coming weeks for my own resources.
Yeah.
All
well, thank you for having us on your show. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you, Karen. Thank you, Melissa. All right. So I just finished speaking to our wonderful librarians from the Paso Robles City Library. Please go ahead and replay this and watch from the beginning. The library is filled with all kinds of great resources, not only for us to do research, but they have also great resources to help families out this summer. There's great programs, great way to stay connected. They have great book groups, so you can keep yourself socializing while staying safe at home if that's what you're doing. And I just wish everyone safe, keeping whatever that is for you, wherever you're at, and know that the heart of Paso is partially my heart, but it's all of you that are watching, all of you that are involved in the organizations and businesses in this community, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. So stay safe, keep informed. I love you all. I will be here tomorrow, actually. Again, I'm going to be with Debbie Thomas from Thomas Hill Organics, and we're going to talk about some of the wonderful food that they have there. All right. Have a great evening.